Hello, this is Donna Marie with another episode of the Best Life of Wellbeing podcast. Today's discussion is with Anthony Lane, mindset coach, U.S. Navy veteran, and so much more. We'll be discussing the law of attraction.
Anthony
You don't
Lane,
want to miss
welcome
it.
so much to the Best Life of Wellbeing podcast. This podcast is designed to help encourage people to live their best life of well-being. And so well-being encompasses your whole life. Prior to me chiming into this Zoom call, I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and Esther mentions well-being a whole lot. And the reason I bring up Abraham Hicks is because of the cruise you went on and what the comment I saw on Facebook. And I
Okay.
want to discuss that with you. So, but first of all, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And so I have been around you and the crew of Pyro Circle, and I love your lovely wife, Joella. But there's a whole lot I don't know about you. So I want to
Yep.
first give you the opportunity to just share a bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. So, well, Donna Marie, thank you so much for having me. This means a world of a lot to me because I put people first in everything that I do. I spent 22 years in the military, and during that 22 years, I trained a ton of people. I helped a lot of people get to the next level of their life. And then once I retired in 2012, I wanted more out of my life instead of just sitting into an office. I work for the government as an instructor. And now what I do is I work for myself. I'm a realtor, I'm a trainer, and I'm a mindset coach. And the Abraham, just diving into wanting to be a better person and offer more things of value is really me forming my life of who I am now.
Mhm.
So that is who I am in a nutshell. And I will share some other stories with you if you like, as we're talking, not just about the cruise, but just my journey.
Thank you. So what is a mindset coach? What do mindset coaches do? I mean, it's
So
obvious by the name, you help people with their
yeah,
mindset, but
yeah.
specifically, how do you do that? What do you do?
So what do I do is, so I have several clients right now who are stuck and they're not sure which position, which route they should take into their life. And I help them, I meet them where they're at, and I kind of direct them with things that they already know, and letting them know that they can have really faith in themselves, believe in themselves, and just tweaking just one or two thoughts, not by me giving them suggestions, but when I talk to them, just asking a bunch of questions, and they're like, oh, wow, I can do that. Then I give them some slight homework assignments, and then they come back to me like, wow, I did it. And I'm so happy for myself because they spoke up for themselves in different scenarios.
Oh, that's great. So then you talked about changing a thought, right?
Hmm.
So that just brings me to the Abraham Hicks cruise.
The cruise was 7 days.
Okay.
It was 7 days. So my journey with the law of attraction started back off in the early 90s, and where I didn't so much believe in myself a whole lot. And
Mhm.
someone said, hey, you need to listen to law of attraction. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking that law of attraction was just me attracting another person. Well, I did that very well because I ended up with my wife.
Mhm.
I didn't know law of attraction was so involved with everything that we think, do, and say is something that is in our subconscious mind. But the law of attraction cruise with Abraham Hicks, it just brought me to a new level of awareness of the things that I say and things that I do. My life is going in the direction that I want it to go in. I'm doing everything I'm doing now is on purpose and not by default.
Yes.
And that was one of the biggest things that I learned on the cruise, was living my life on purpose.
So I want to first let's just explain to people who Abraham, Esther, and Jerry Hicks. Who are these people?
So the simplest way that I can break it down, I'll go back for the people that are religious, the people that grew up in church or saw church. You had one person that spoke in tongues, and another person interpreted what that person was saying. So what is happening? Esther Hicks, she back in the early 80s, her and Jerry, which is her late husband, they were trying to figure out what to do with their life. And they met with a friend, and a friend said, hey, you should meditate. So every day for 15 minutes, they meditated. And then one day, Esther said, hey, I think I'm writing with my nose. And then her husband took down a pen and said, oh, you're doing the alphabets with your nose. And so her guided angel, which is Abraham, was speaking to her. And so now she puts herself in a meditative state to receive Abraham Hicks. She doesn't understand Abraham until she looks back at the video or listen to the audio to listen to what Abraham is saying. And that's who Esther Hicks is. She's receiving a message from Abraham.
Yeah, she's like a medium. Jerry is speaking,
yes.
Not Jerry.
Esther, Abraham.
He's speaking through her. And so
yes.
she's like in a trance, because you said
yes.
she doesn't hear anything that Abraham is saying.
Correct.
It's just in her body, speaking through
Correct.
a message to the world through her.
Yep.
What does it mean to you to be the creator or the co-creator of your life?
It means that thinking about that really sends chills up my spine, because when you wake up first thing in the morning, you have a choice to either remember yesterday's woes or start off fresh and new. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that you can do what happened at the very beginning of yesterday. You can only work with what you have now. And so every day that I wake up, I'm thankful, one, because my eyes opened up. Two, I have all of my senses: hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling. I can feel my pillow. I can see the sunrise. I can feel the cool air as I go work out. And I take that and just build up on the day. Mm-hmm. So that is a part of creating, who I am and what I am all about.
What is source energy to you?
My source energy is God. Someone else's source energy is Allah, Buddha, Confucius, whatever you call your higher deity, your higher belonging. Then you believe in that. Some people don't believe in God at all, but they believe in some source energy.
And we're connected to everything through that source energy, through that universal, through the universe, through the cosmos, through God. And we're all connected. We're breathing the same air. So mm-hmm. amazing to me, because we don't even think about source energy in the fact that we are all vibrationally connected to one another, and we survive. Like the tree example you gave in your post, that tree falls, but it continues to connect with source, but that tree is also continuing to connect with us, keeping us alive.
Right. That tree last year, and during COVID, I'm out trying to sell a house, and I saw this ravine. I'm just walking and talking to God. I'm like, okay. Then I saw this ravine. You know how water cuts through anything? Mm-hmm. It was a tree that was sitting at the very top. And the tree roots, as the water cut through over the years, the roots kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. The roots, the tree refused to give up. And as much as the water was cutting through, the roots kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, this tree, the roots usually go out on top of the earth. It never digs. But this particular tree, the roots had to be at least 100 feet. And that's kind of, I'm not a arborist or tree hugger or anything else. And I said to myself, if God gave that tree that much will to live, to continue to seek for water, to continue to live, I put my faith in God, the source that gives me life.
Yeah.
And there's so much more of me to live. And so I just said, hey, let's go for it. And if a tree can live when it falls over or the roots are eroded away, then why can't I continue to strive to do my best?
Yeah, this was so interesting. And because connecting to source starts within, right?
Yes. Yes.
And that tree innately knows that. And so
Yes.
the tree is not thinking, like you said, what happened in the past, what happened in the future. That tree is connected to source innately.
Yeah.
And that water is there, and the tree is just doing what it naturally does, being connected
Yes.
to that source. And
Yes.
we've grown so far from that, like
Right.
acknowledging source, like being
Right.
able to hear that internal voice that guides us all. We were all connected to source, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that is amazing to just be able to witness the tree doing what it does because it is connected to source.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of the biggest things that on the cruise that she always says that things are always working out for me.
Mm.
And the and I think about the past, and when something goes wrong, I'm like, man, what else can go wrong? As soon
Right.
as I say what else can go wrong, something else
That
happens.
goes wrong. Yes.
I'm like, man, now what? Guess as soon as I say now what, something else is going to happen. Something else. And so last year I switched that mindset around that programming. We're all computers. So I had to switch my programming. Instead of thinking what else can go wrong, I say to myself, what else can go right? Instead of, if a perfect example is, I say to myself, and I say it and I believe it. I want clear traffic to go from my house in Wardolph, Maryland, to go to DC, Washington, DC, and hit no traffic, or to be smooth running traffic at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, some people will say that's impossible, but if I say it to myself and I believe it, my source would line up with all the traffic lights and the rest of traffic. I have tested this. If you don't believe it, trust yourself and say, I want X to happen with no issues, and believe that it's going to happen, and it will happen. You will be amazed and delighted and surprised.
So you talked about being deliberate with your thoughts. Can you share a little bit about what you gained on, you just gave a great example, different tools you gained about how to be deliberate with, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act?
The one main tool is meditating.
Oh, I love it.
The power of meditation. For someone to say that I cannot quiet my mind, guess what? You're human. Even the Buddhist monks who practice meditation, mindfulness, and to quiet their mind, it takes them years to quiet their mind. And when they quiet their mind with no thought at all, it's only for a few seconds. So for me, what I have learned, and I'm continuing to learn for meditation, is just quieting my mind and focusing on one single sound.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors labeled me over 50 years ago as being ADHD. But if you focus on a single sound, then that meditation will help you quiet your mind. And then after that, then start listening to little things that come to me. That is the biggest thing. And if I can't quiet my mind, then I just focus on something to make me calm, relax. If that doesn't happen, then I do a breathing exercise, like and out. So just those things, really calming myself down and just relaxing, because that puts me more aligned with who I am. And really, instead of looking for an outside source like my wife, a friend, or anyone else to come and save me, it's already in me.
Yeah.
And just relaxing helps me think clearer on the direction that I am going in. And when I think a negative thought, then I know that my inner being is not thinking negative with me.
Yeah.
And when I feel bad, that's Anthony feeling bad and not my inner being. So those are just some of the things. So for those that are listening, when you have a negative thought about anything or someone else, that is you and not your inner being. your inner God, your higher source is thinking that.
I love that. I love that, because the whole purpose is to connect with your inner being and to get into that vibrational energy that
Yes.
helps you to continue to grow and to elevate. And so as you're having a negative thought, the negative thought helps you to see that you're out of alignment.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the negative thought is not bad. The negative thought is actually good, because the negative thought is helping. It should, or it could help to bring you back to that alignment. Resistance is keeping your thoughts away from your center. And so that deep breath brings you back to your center, back to yourself, and helps you to realize that you can create the life you want, and it doesn't have to be a competition, and it doesn't have to be a fight. Or listen, just change your perspective. A belief is a thought you keep thinking.
Yep.
And so I just love that. For change your thoughts, and then your thoughts change your beliefs, and your beliefs change your actions, and your actions change your reality, and you got a whole new world.
Yep. Yep. I can give you a very good something that happened to me before I realized what I was doing back in 2019 in regards to real estate. I had 12 deals in 1 month. Everything was going smooth. I said, watch something happen. Something wrong is going to happen. Guess what? Out of those 12 deals, 9 of them fell through. 9. Then I'm like, it's because of them. They did this, they did that. No. Now I know that as soon as I say, watch something go wrong, I attracted the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And then I had some other deals going through, and because I had 1 foot in real estate, 1 foot somewhere else, because I was indecisive, I kept attracting clients that were indecisive.
I
want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to do this. I was attracting people who were just like me.
Yeah.
And so now when I go for something, and I just tell my clients, hey, this is for you, believe that it's for you, and then it's yours. All of this battle, going over this, going over that, it's all about, I'm practicing what I preach, and it's working out for me tremendously. And I love it. You keep saying it. Everything is energy. Not sure if people are picking up on that. Everything that we do, see, smell, taste, touch is energy. So yes, money is energy. And if we look at money as energy, then it will be easier to attract money instead of repel money. It's easy to attract the relationships that you want in your life instead of pushing them away, because it all has to do with our thinking. If we think that we're going to get fired, that's what's going to happen. If we think that he or she is going to leave me, then that's what's going to happen, because that's what you're attracting. If you see something, hear something, if you have a deep desire for a new car and you love this car, why would you look good driving this car? Why do you want to feel good driving this car? Why do you want you feel, whatever it is about this motor vehicle? Then eventually, don't try to figure out how. That's where we go wrong. Don't try to figure out how this vehicle is going to come to you. Just know and see yourself driving it. See yourself feeling so good in it. So the secret is about, how do you feel about something? Okay. Our mind, it energizes. So we're thinking something. That's the energy. But when you feel something and you have a deep feeling for it, your feelings is the magnet. And your magnet, that means you are attracting to you what you are feeling. So if you're feeling negative thoughts, you did that. If you're feeling positive thoughts and it's coming to you, you did that. It took me so long to understand that until I started doing it. And I'm like, oh crap, I did do this. So And that is hard to believe for some people. I didn't attract this bad, whatever. Yeah, you did. It's what you're thinking. So you just have to really examine how you are thinking about things. Don't listen to Anthony. Anthony is not a doctor. Anthony is not a neuroscientist. Anthony only goes off of what I have physically seen in my own personal life when dealing with myself and some individuals. Best way that Abraham always says it: if you know what you don't want, then you should know what you want. Mm-hmm. But you can't not want and want at the same time, because you're going to usually attract the things that you don't want. Okay.
Or nothing at all.
Or nothing at all. Over my daughter's in the Army. She just came back from Korea, South Korea. And she said, okay, we've been planning to buy her a car for the last, for 5 months. The first thing she says, I don't want a white car. She said, I don't care what I get. I just don't want a white car. I don't want a white car. I don't want a white car. Honey, what color car you want? What car was available? A white car. What is my daughter driving? A white car.
Wow. That is so.
And I kept telling her, I'm like, honey, stop saying that. You're going to end up with what you don't want. You got a car, but you're going to end up with what you don't want. Stop saying it. The only thing that was available because of the shortage. So if you keep saying that you don't want something, that's what's going to happen.
Like you said, you know what you don't want. So if you know what you don't want, you know what you do want.
Yep.
Focus on what you do want. If you're focusing on what you don't want, then you'll attract more of what you don't want. When you're focusing on what you do want, that helps your feelings. Your whole physiology changes. What you're feeling, the stress disappears, it dissipates because you're thinking about what it is you want. And like you said, taking that walk, you're thinking about the beach. You're not thinking about that it's cold or that I don't feel like getting up this morning. You're creating the reality, even though everything around you looks nothing like what you were able to visualize through your walk.
If you carry yourself like a broke person that's living in poverty, that's how people would treat you.
Right.
And that's dealing with your mindset, that's dealing with your manifestation, that's dealing with everything that you do.
Abraham and Esther talk a lot about discord. So when you have that discord, that's usually when you can feel stuff, right? So back to a belief is a thought you keep thinking. And so as you're making those changes, alter your thoughts, pay attention to your feelings.
Yep.
And also pay attention to what you're thinking, because in many cases, you're telling yourself sometimes you can't.
Yep.
Or you're telling yourself, this is too hard. And pay attention to how you feel when you say this is too hard. And when you say, I got this, totally different feelings, right?
Yep.
So stick with that good feeling.
Yep.
Abandon those old thoughts, think that old, self-talk, old, those
limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs, and those old feelings will disappear as well. And then before you know it, connected to your source. So follow the good energy, follow the good feelings, monitor your thoughts, and adjust as necessary.
To get what you want, you have to, not kind of, sort of, you have to forget about the past. For those who are trying to get relationships, stop thinking about he used me, she used me, they did this, they did that, and think about exactly what you want. And who do you want to be with this person? Instead of Johnny or Sue used me, think positively about what you want from this person. And then eventually you will attract that person, or you will attract whatever event that you're going after.
Connect to that vibrational energy. And so for some people, that could even be surrounding yourself with beautiful couples like you and Joella, just so that you could see love in action, so that you can see the positive side of it, because some people may have never seen a positive relationship before. And so then you, like you said, you got to be a deliberate thinker. And so a deliberate thinker would be putting yourself around people who align with the vibrational match that you want for yourself. And that is work, and it's work
but it's work for you.
It's work for you. It's work for you. And it's not always easy. Sometimes transformation, you're going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is a part of that. Sometimes we don't want to forgive people because we want to hold on to that negative feeling like he don't deserve or she don't deserve me to forgive her. And so, yes, sometimes we got to let go of friends. We got to let go of money. We got to let go of things that we're holding on to that is not a vibrational match for where we want to be. And sometimes that does not feel good as we're going through, but it feels really good to be connected to source and to be connected to who you truly are.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. Like the best life of well-being, like your sign that's behind you, is you create that best life for you. No one else can say this is the life for you. No, your life for you might not be the life for me.
Right.
So you design your life that you want to live.
Now that's a great place to end, because that is an absolutely beautiful message that you can design the life that you live. And even though I said that's a great place to wrap it up, I'm gonna keep talking because I honestly have this same conversation with one friend all the time who is like, Donna, you can't create the life that you want to live. God is in control. God is creating. And so my answer is always, if you're not taking any action, it doesn't matter what the action, your action can be negative or positive. Whatever action you're taking is based on what you're thinking, and that becomes your reality. And in that sense, you're co-creating with God. God has provided everything. God provided your body systems that work without you thinking about it. When you sit and you meditate and you listening to your breath, you're not doing nothing to breathe. When you're sleeping, you're automatically breathing. Your heart is pumping, your blood is flowing. Everything that God has provided, these three words, is being in concert. And we are here to serve one another. So
when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'll say that again. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So that's how you become happy. You ain't happy for the situation that you're in. You're happy for your life, that you are breathing, that whatever age that you're at, being happy for you. Yeah. That's how you started.
Okay.
And change your outlook on people, places, and things. That's how you do it.
That's great.
It's a little bit, every day is different.
Right.
The last thing I want to say, because I know you're getting ready to end it, is be careful who you listen to. So many other people out there, but be careful with who you listen to, because all the information that we're talking about today is free. It's free. The Abraham Hicks cruise I had to pay for, but everything that she says on YouTube, she says it on the cruise. Everything that Deepak Chopra says on YouTube, he said it also in when you go pay to listen to him live. Okay. But in 2020, I was listening to Abraham Hicks. I was listening to Wayne Dyer. I was listening to so many different people that I had to narrow it down.
Yeah.
I was listening to some of the spiritual Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes. Great. All of them are great.
Yeah.
All of them were saying the exact same message. All of them. The religious, the non-religious were saying the exact same thing, which is, it's about how you feel. Okay. The best person in the world, the doctor can tell you that you're healed of cancer, but if you think the cancer is still there, it's going to come back, that's what's going to happen.
Right.
It all starts in your mind. So
a belief it all starts. Thought you keep thinking.
Beliefs are thoughts that you keep thinking.
Right. You have control to change your thoughts and thereby change your beliefs, your actions, and the world. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to believe in you. Me.com is who I believe in.
So Anthony, where can people find you if someone is interested in buying a house or some mindset coaching?
Okay.
How can they find you? Are you linked on social media anywhere?
On social media, on Facebook, I am Anthony Lane. You'll see my face, or on Instagram, I'm Connecting Lane. Connecting Lane. And on, I don't do too much. Well, on LinkedIn, you can also find me on LinkedIn. Also, it's Anthony Lane.
Okay.
So I come in and do organizational coaching, organizational training. I'm also if you heard of John Maxwell, I'm a John Maxwell certified coaching trainer also. My job on earth is to help as many people get to the area of level of life that they want to be in. And I am unbiased to what you're going through. And I meet you where you're at. If you're running a marathon, I'm not going to say, "Oh, you got another 26.5 miles to go." No, I'll meet you at mile 0 to make sure you get in the right shoes, the right running shorts, the right running bra, because all that stuff on mile 3, it can start chafing, it can start hurting, and it's no good. So I meet you where you're at, and I'm on that journey with you if you will help me.
So this vortex, it is a reality, even though you can't see it, but you can feel it. You know how your dog hears things you can't hear and smells things you don't want to smell? Because your dog has more acute sensitivity to sound than you do. Sound is just vibration, and hearing is just translating it. Smelling is just translating vibration. This vortex is something that while you can't see it, and while you may not be able to hear it, when you get in the vicinity of it, you can feel the deliciousness of it. And when you are far from it, you can feel the discord of not being close to it.